certainly been a spectacular week for Meghan Markle. There she is, of course, on yet another podcast talking about her favourite subject, herself. But seemingly things aren't going to plan. Are they ever in the world of Montecito? And according to a very well-placed source, apparently Meghan has stated that she won't be bullied into this. But what is this? As ever, let me explain. Hey, Chums, lovely to see you today in a very, well, what can I say? Actually, I'm sitting here and you know that phrase, dying for your art? It literally is hay fever city, and I can't stop sneezing, so if I have to stop, you'll have to forgive me, honestly. I just wandered around here, and you think, what's wrong? And then you think, wow, but it's a lovely area, and there's lots of statues in this particular area of London. I'll try and find some and get some of them more up and all that sort of stuff, but wonderful stuff. As I say, always something free to look at and enrich the mind, isn't there? That's what I like to think. The biggest problems, if you are Meghan Markle, is clearly, as I've said to you on many occasions, you're a celebrity. That's all you are now, You thought you were a member of the royal family, you tried to utilise those HRH titles, and clearly nobody's now interested. You had that moment, it's gone. You might want to go back to that because you've chosen that particular moment, but really the public have now moved on. And when you're a celebrity, you're in and you're out. One of my favourite stars that I've worked with on a number of occasions is Kylie Minogue, and Kylie's had success for many years. But as she's openly pointed out, there have been very dark, bleak periods, and she now relishes the periods like now where she's having a resurgence, and she makes sure that she enjoys it. With Harry and Meghan, they've had nothing but catastrophe, and Meghan herself has basically said that it all started to go wrong during the pandemic. Others might say, well, that's not totally true. But as we've seen, as she's launched her brand new idea to become an entrepreneur, basically selling jam and cake mix and nuts and honey and whatever. I mean, really, it's such a lackluster affair. And the danger is now what you have, and I think everybody will agree with me on the show. We haven't had a wave, have we? Sorry, we'll have a lovely wave. The thing is, sorry, I get so engrossed. But the thing about that is everything can be unboxed. I didn't know what that meant, did you? But the unboxing thing where you do it live or film it on camera and then you reveal what you've got and all this sort of stuff. Well, that can be brutal. And I saw a few of them and I thought, well, if these are genuine, if that's the way it's being sent to these people when you're spending an incredible amount of money on a pot of jam, it's not going to work. But you see, then Meghan decided to try and incorporate her children. That's right, Archie and Lily, and she thought this was going to be the R factor. She started with Guy the Beagle, and then, of course, moved on to the children. Only last week, it was the adorable accent, 2 words, of course, Lily, who I pointed out has been heavily doctored. But the other side of the coin is this. The magazines that once sort of feted Harry and Meghan are now turning on them in a big way. Not the big glosses, the ones they truly need, but the bread and butters, the Us Weekly, the People magazine. And that's, well, with things like this. This apparently sent Meghan through the roof. This is, of course, in celebration of Princess Charlotte's 10th birthday. A wonderful piece, very sweet, very nice, very respectful. But behind the scenes, the real reason is this. They are pushing Meghan Markle to give them more access to her daughter. One of those 2 magazines wants to be the one that breaks the picture. They're not willing to pay, but by showing how sales can go up, and they have gone up with this particular issue, well, that really makes Meghan, kind of furious. And as I said, behind the scenes, apparently, she feels that people are trying to bully her into submission, into giving more of the children. Well, as they've pointed out, you're exploiting them, on camera. You're giving, hair locks and back shots and faces hidden with big sunflowers and stuff like that. Really, if you want to do it professionally and let the world see that you're a good mum and this is your new company and they're very much with you, how better or what better way would it be to place it in the confines of a celebrity magazine, maybe even for a bit of money? But Meghan apparently feels that she's been bullied into submission, and it's only when she's ready and at the right time would she want to do this. Meanwhile, she has to face at the stand, looking, of course, at the family that she gave away, and they're taking, of course, all that wonderful, much needed publicity that maybe could have helped this particular brand. Either way, it's funny, isn't it, how things come a full circle. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.